Arrieta's day be through. Martinez's day is done. As Seung-Hwan Oh is our Chevy called to the pin. Addison Russell leads it off. Oh, his last 6 outings, he has faced 24 and struck out 12, including 2 the other night. 0-1 pitch. Matt Caesar has moved to the on-deck circle. A pinch hit for Arrieta. The Cubs relief corps on the road has been better away from Wrigley. Opponents only hitting 172 against him. 1.99 ERA away from Wrigley Field. The 2-1 pitch is driven into center. 2 hits for Russell. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Seung-Hwan Oh, who's off to a great start in his first year here in the big leagues. So here's Caesar for Arrieta, the pinch hitter. Four for 9 with a couple of RBIs as a pinch hitter this year, and that pitch in the dirt. There is no team right now in the major leagues matching the Cardinals and what they've been able to do with pinch hitting this season. Did you get to ask Joe about his card?
Sure did. I'm just waiting for the guys to show the card. What he was saying was, we saw the percentages there, and he uses that to see if he wants to run or not, as far as strikeout percentage of the hitter that he's got, or ground ball percentage of the hitter that he's got at the plate. He knows his runner. He knows his catcher. He knows who's on the mound. That's pretty obvious. So he needs to know the percentages of what he's going to deal with in order to send that guy or not. And then the matrix is all the things that he's come up with over the years plugged into one equation. And he told me that the closer it was to 300, the better his chances are, or the better the situation is. So very interesting that, like we talked about before, is he's his own guy. He knows what he wants. He knows what makes his group of guys successful, and then the percentages with the Ks and the ground ball for him is basically to figure out if he wants to start the runner or not.
So is that what the matrix is?
The matrix was the percentage, which was like, it looked like an average, but he specifically told me it was not an average, and it wasn't a normal percentage of what you would see like runners in scoring position or anything. It was his own personal description of something. He wouldn't tell me. I really didn't care. It didn't matter. I know he's got a lot of things going on, and he's always been a little bit off the grid in his thinking. What was important to him wasn't always necessarily important to the game of baseball, but what he liked to use to make his team successful.
So the matrix then could be whether we steal bases, whether we hit and run.
Well, I think it had to do with just percentages of contact and
interesting
high leverage situations. Late inning situation, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I could have asked him. I didn't think that much how important that would be. You can see the colors on those grids. He's got the little tornado zone down there in the red. He's got the light blue zone, and he said the deeper the color, obviously the hot zones. But there's so many. There was a million different things on that page, so he's got it all thought out. But I really liked what he had as far as when he's got a runner on first. It's very simple. He's got a runner on first, and he'll look and see who's in the box, and then there was the K ratio and the ground ball ratio, and that basically will tell him if he wants to start the runner or not. So if the K ratio is down and the ground ball ratio is up, he's going to start the runner. If the ground ball ratio is down and the K ratio is down, then he's a fly ball hitter.
Perfect bunt. So Caesar bunting against O, and runners at first and second. Caesar, the pinch hitter for Arrieta. Only the 5th time last 2 years that Arrieta has lasted only 5 innings. Couldn't place that any better.
Nope. Probably not expecting the bunt right there. Good job by Caesar. Really.
Here's Fowler. Runners at first and second. This game has had a little extra intensity here this afternoon. Cardinals able to chip away at Jake Arrieta. And now Fowler bunting. It's in the air. There's Molina. There's an out. Big out.
Kind of surprising and maybe a little bit of a favor the way Dexter Fowler's been swinging the bat.
Agreed. Hayward is grounded out to second. Got an RBI double that scored 2 off the bag at first base in the second inning and struck out in the fourth. Runners at first and second. 1 out. 0-2 Hayward. Pulled foul.
Little boredom over there too.
You play games with a stopwatch, sunflower seeds, the bubble gum on the hat, the hot foot.
I haven't seen that one yet.
That one is a new one.
Quite a set of binoculars right there.
Usually, though, it's never with the starters, meaning the position players. It's bullpen guys or the starting staff that's not throwing that day.
I'm willing to bet he's going to put that down here pretty soon. He's going to be looking to get in this game. Creative, I like it.
A shift on here for Hayward. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the next by Seung-Hwan Oh on its way. Pulled foul again. Nice play made by a fan down the right field line.
Might have just saved somebody their life.
Ball was scorched.
Yeah, it was. What a great play.
She just said, "Woo, thank you."
Exactly. Didn't necessarily need to see that. But great play nonetheless.
Here's a 1-2. Fowler. He went down with the bunt, and now Hayward goes down with a swing and a miss. So the first 2 reached. The bunt attempt by Fowler into the glove of Molina, strikeout of Hayward, and it brings in Kris Bryant. And Bryant takes strike 1. Jim mentioned Johnny Peralta on his rehab assignment. He will bat second, play third base tonight for the Peoria Chiefs. And a lineup that features Magneuris Sierra at the top of that lineup. We saw him in spring training.
Game changer, that young man. That one day at least.
He's won a batting championship in the minor leagues. One of the top prospects for the Cardinals. That's hit out of play. This has been his first base runner allowed after retiring the last 18 he had faced. That's how good he's been. And the 1-2 pitch to Kris Bryant. Cardinals figured it out pretty quickly, didn't they, Jimmy, that Seung-Hwan Oh is a high leverage late innings pitcher. You know, you're never sure. He's never pitched in the big leagues, but they found out quickly he could handle this.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job all year, and he's in here in the 6th inning, but yet this is getting a situation where the 6-4 game, a lot going on. You got to figure out a way to stop the Cubs from scoring and get back in this game. But yes, he's come on and done a good job this year and proven he's worthy of any task that they throw at him.
So 2 outs, 2 on, and a 3-2 pitch. Runners go, and Bryant hits it out to left. A ton. Tenth home run for Bryant. Now up to 35 driven in. And it's back to a 5-run Cubs lead.
Talk about Kris Bryant's short swing all week. Look at that. Nothing. Just get the bat on the ball. See what happens.
First home run allowed by Seung-Hwan Oh. He gets such great carry and lift with that swing. And a no-outer over the bullpen in left. It's taking the air out of this ballpark. Joe Maddon lift Jake Arrieta after 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned, and 93 pitches. ERA sits at 1.73. Kris Bryant on a 3-2 pitch. 3-run homer for the young third baseman of the Chicago Cubs. 9-4 Cubs.